Welcome all my dear student of SY basic class. In previous lecture, we studied trigonometric and hyperbolic functions and some important identities related to hyperbolic and exponential function of complex number. In this lecture, we are going to see some important problems related to trigonometric and hyperbolic functions. Let us see the first problem. Transform 1 upon 1 plus I bracket square into polar and exponential form. In order to solve this problem, let us consider a solution. Let z is equal to x plus iy is equal to 1 upon 1 plus I bracket square. Now simplify RHS of this equation first. We have 1 upon 1 plus 2I plus I square. But we know that value of I square is equal to minus 1. Therefore, we have 1 upon 1 plus 2I minus 1. Plus 1 and minus 1 getting cancelled with each other. Now, we have 1 upon 2I. Or instead of this, we can write z is equal to x plus iy is equal to 1 upon 2I multiplied by I and divided by I. Make a small arrangement. After multiplying and dividing by I to this equation, there will be no any change. So, here we have I upon 2 into I square. Again, the value of I square is equal to minus 1. Therefore, we have minus I upon 2 or simply minus 1 half I. Now, if we compare, or we can again write this is like this equation like this, 0 minus 1 half I. Now, compare the x and y. We have value of x is equal to 0 and value of y is equal to minus 1 half. Okay. Now, from these two value, we can find the modulus of this complex number. We have r is equal to under root x square plus y square. Substitute the value of x and y. We have x, value of x is 0, therefore 0 square plus value of y is minus 1 half. Take square of this minus 1 half and we have 0 square, that is 0, plus 1 by 4 or simply 1 half. This is the value of modulus. Now, we have to calculate the argument. What is the argument? Argument of z is equal to theta is equal to tan inverse y upon x. Then substitute the value of y upon x, y and x. We have tan inverse value of y is minus 1 half upon 0. By dividing 0 to any value, we have tan inverse infinity. If theta is equal to tan inverse infinity, then obviously theta is equal to pi by 2. This is the argument or phase angle. Now, by using the value of r and theta, we have the polar form of this equation. or this complex number is Z is equal to R cos theta plus I sin theta. Substitute the value of R and theta, we have 1/2 in bracket cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. This is the polar form of this given complex number. Now, exponential form of this complex number, we know that the complex number in exponential form can be represented like this: Z is equal to R e raised to I theta. Again, substitute the value of R and theta. Value of R is 1/2 and e raised to I pi by 2. Therefore, this complex number, that means 1 upon 1 plus I bracket square in exponential form is Z is equal to 1/2 e raised to I pi by 2. Okay. Let us see another problem. Another problem using cos theta is equal to e raised to I theta plus e raised to minus I theta upon 2. Show that cos theta plus 2 pi n is equal to cos theta. Okay. Now, in order to solve this problem, we have a solution. Cos theta is equal to e raised to I theta plus e raised to minus I theta upon 2. This is given in our problem. Now, we have to, in order to solve this or in order to show this, cos theta plus 2 pi n is equal to cos theta, we have to replace theta by theta plus 2 pi n. Therefore, we have cos theta plus 2 pi n is equal to e raised to I theta plus 2 pi n plus e raised to minus I theta plus 2 pi n upon 2. Now, solve the RHS of this equation. We have cos theta plus 2 pi n is equal to e raised to I theta into e raised to I theta 2 pi n plus e raised to minus I theta into e raised to minus I 2 pi n upon 2. We simply separate this theta and 2 pi n. Now, for any value of n, suppose n is an integer 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. For any value of n, e raised to 2 pi n is always 1. See how? Suppose we substitute the value of n is equal to 0, then e raised to 0 is equal to 1. If we substitute for n is equal to 1, if we substitute n is equal to 0, if we substitute the value of n is equal to 1, then e raised to 2 pi. And 2 pi, that means in an Argand diagram, if we start here from this point and reach here, we have pi, value of pi, and again from this point to this point, that is 360 or 0. Again, value of this is equal to 1. By considering this, we have e raised to I theta into 1 plus e raised to I theta minus I theta into 1 upon 2. Again, we can write from this e raised to I theta, because e raised to I theta into 1 means e raised to I theta plus e raised to minus I theta and upon 2. And in previous lecture we have seen that this e raised to I theta plus e raised to minus I theta upon 2 represents cos theta. Therefore, lastly, cos theta plus 2 pi n is nothing but cos theta. Hence the proof. Okay. Now, let us see another problem. One more problem is there. Using the relation sin phi or sin h phi is equal to e raised to phi minus e raised to minus phi upon 2, show that, and cos phi is equal to e raised to phi plus e raised to minus phi upon 2. By using the value of sin phi and cos phi, prove that cos square phi plus sin square phi is equal to 1. What is the problem? Using the value of sin phi and value of cos phi, prove that cos square phi plus sin square phi is equal to 1. Okay. This is a very simple problem. Okay. See the LHS of this equation. Cos square phi plus sin square phi is equal to, substitute the value of sin square, cos square and sin square, we have e raised to phi plus e raised to minus phi upon 2 bracket square plus e raised to phi minus e raised to minus phi upon 2 bracket square. This is the value of cos square phi and this is the value of sin square phi, which is already given in our problem. Solve this, we have e raised to 2 phi plus e raised to minus 2 phi plus 2 upon 4. When we solve this first square of first bracket, we have to this a plus b bracket square and value of 2 square of 2 is 4. Similarly, e raised to phi plus e raised to minus 2 phi plus 2 upon 4. Okay. Now, again solve this, or we can make a simple arrangement which is very simple. Make the arrangement here. First arrangement is like this, e raised to 2 phi plus e raised to minus 2 phi upon, just 1 minute, plus 2 minus minus 4. I think this is okay. I forget here to write I. Therefore, square of I square is equal to minus 1. That's why minus e raised to 2 phi minus e raised to minus 2 phi plus 2 upon 4. Okay. See once again. Here I square, value of I square is equal to minus 1. That's why square of 4, square of 2 is 4 and I square is equal to minus 1. That's why this is minus 4. Now, when we write these two equation together, then e raised to phi, e raised to minus 2 phi plus 2 as it is, then minus plus minus, again minus plus minus and minus minus plus. Now, first term, this term getting cancelled with this term and this term getting cancelled with this term. Lastly, we have 2 plus 2 upon 4 or simply 4 upon 4 and it is nothing but 1. Therefore, value of this cos square phi plus sin square phi is equal to 1. Hence the proof. Now see the last problem. Using cos phi is equal to e raised to phi plus e raised to minus phi upon 2, show that cos phi plus 2 pi n I is equal to cos phi. We have to, by using the value of cos phi, that is e raised to phi plus e raised to minus phi upon 2, we have to show that cos in bracket phi plus 2 pi n I is equal to cos phi. Okay, we have the solution. Cos phi is equal to e raised to phi plus e raised to minus phi upon 2. In order to show this, we have to replace this phi by phi plus 2 pi n I. We have cos phi plus 2 pi n I is equal to e raised to phi plus 2 pi n I plus e raised to minus phi 2 pi n I. Sorry, phi plus 2 pi n I upon 2. Solve this RHS of this equation. We have cos in bracket phi plus 2 pi n I is equal to e raised to phi into e raised to 2 pi n I plus e raised to minus phi into e raised to minus 2 pi n I upon 2. Again, remember here that for any value of n, that is n is equal to 0, 1, 2, for any value of n, e raised to 2 pi n I is equal to 1. Again here suppose we take the value of n is equal to 0, then 0 into 2 pi into I is equal to 0, and we have from e raised to 0 we have 1. If we substitute the value of n is equal to 1, then e raised to 2 pi I, that means e raised to 2 pi, that means 316. 360 means again 0, again 1. In this way, by considering this, we have e raised to phi into 1 plus e raised to minus phi into 1 upon 2, or simply e raised to phi plus e raised to minus phi upon 2. And this equation, from this we have cos phi, that is cos phi plus 2 pi n I is nothing but cos phi, and hence the proof. Okay. There are many more problems like this, and I will provide all the solved and unsolved problems in PDF form on our WhatsApp group. Okay. Now we are going to see the last point of this chapter, that is application of complex number. Application of complex number. To determine velocity and acceleration. This is the last point of this chapter. In order to study the velocity and acceleration on a curve or in a curve motion, okay. That is, here we want to calculate the complex velocity, and from complex velocity we want to calculate complex acceleration. Okay. For this purpose, consider a particle moving on this complex, consider a particle which is moving on this xy plane. This is x axis and this is y axis. This is the origin. Consider a particle moving along a curve on xy plane. Suppose this is point P of xy. The Cartesian rectangular coordinate of this point is x and y. That means this is the x distance of this point P from origin, and this is y distance from origin. Okay. Now, this position, this P, point P acquires the position P, and hence we have the position vector OP is equal to R, and angle made by this position vector is theta. Okay. When this particle is moving along the curve, note that R and theta both are changes with respect to time. As particle move from this point on anchor point up to this point, then obviously the position vector or value of position vector goes on changing. At that time, phase angle is also changing with respect to time. Therefore, Z, complex number Z is nothing but a function of time. Now, before this we have to see that this particle P represents a complex number, that is Z is equal to x plus Iy in terms of Cartesian coordinates x and y. Now, if we consider polar coordinates rather than x and y, we consider the polar coordinate and r and theta, we have to express this complex number r e raised to I theta. That means this is the exponential form of complex number, this is rectangular form of complex number. Therefore, now as the particle is moving along the curve, obviously its position and phase both are goes on changing. That's why Z is a function of t, or we can write r of t e raised to I theta of t. What is meaning of this? When the particle is moving along this curve, then as time it changes, both modulus of the complex number is also changed and phase angle is also changed. That's why r and theta both are function of time. And this equation, suppose this is equation 1. Now, in order to obtain the complex velocity, we have to differentiate this equation with respect to time t, because we know that rate of change of displacement is nothing but velocity. Therefore, in order to obtain the complex velocity v, we have to differentiate this z with respect to time, that is dz by dt, or simply d by dt is equal in bracket r e raised to I theta. Okay. Now, by using UV rule of differentiation, we simply have the differentiation of this equation like this: V is equal to dz by dt is equal to r, or simply e raised to I theta into dr by dt, okay, plus r d by d theta e raised to I theta, or dr by dt into e raised to I theta plus r I theta and d raised to, okay, by using UV rule. But if we let dz by dt is equal to z single dot, similarly r dr by dt is equal to r dot, and okay, and d theta by dt is equal to theta bar. Then by substituting this value, we have V is equal to r dot e raised to I theta plus I r theta dot e raised to I theta. Suppose this is equation 1, and this equation 1 represents complex velocity, but we know that I is equal to e raised to I pi by 2. When we represent this number in a rectangular form, then calculate the modulus and argument and put in exponential form, we have I is equal to e raised to I pi by 2. Therefore, we can write e raised to, V is equal to r theta e raised to I theta plus r theta dot and e raised to I theta plus pi by 2. Okay. This equation gives complex velocity. In this equation, this is the radial component of velocity and it is represented by Vr, and this part represents the transverse component of velocity and this is represented by Vt. In this way, we determine the complex velocity of a particle moving along a curve on xy plane. Now, we want to calculate complex acceleration. For obtaining the complex acceleration, we have to again differentiate equation V is equal to r theta e raised to I theta plus r theta dot e raised to I theta. Again we have this equation. We have to differentiate this equation with respect to time. We know that acceleration is nothing but rate of change of velocity, that is A is equal to dv by dt, that is d by dt again r dot e raised to I theta plus r theta dot e raised to I theta. Okay. This equation gives the differentiation of this term with respect to time, or we simply write d by dt of first bracket r theta e raised to I theta plus d by dt in bracket r theta e raised to I theta. Okay. Now, in order to solve these two terms, here use UV rule and here use UVW rule. According to, when we differentiate this equation according to UV rule, and when we differentiate this term according to UVW rule, we have the acceleration A is equal to simply r double dot UV rule minus r e raised to plus I e raised to I theta dot plus I r dot theta dot e raised to I theta plus I r e raised to double theta dash to double I theta plus I r theta e raised to I theta into I theta. Now collect the terms, that is radial, collect radial and transverse term together, radial and transverse terms together we have r e raised to I theta r double dot minus I theta dot square, because here and here one in bracket this, and out of bracket e raised to I theta plus I in bracket 2 r dot theta raised to dot plus r theta raised to double dot and e raised to I theta, and this is equation 4. This equation 4 represents or gives the complex velocity of the particle moving along the curve on xy plane. In this equation, this is the transverse component of acceleration, complex acceleration, and radial, this is the radial component of complex acceleration, and this term or this bracket represent the transverse component of complex acceleration. In this way, again we determine the complex acceleration of a particle moving along the curve or moving in a curve motion on xy plane. Okay, we shall stop here. Have a good day. Thank you.